Nothing connects me to the world, I think, in a more beautiful way than surfing. There's something about catching a wave that just makes me feel so good and so blissed out. I was just a normal guy, you know, a 44-year-old guy with a 6-year-old daughter who lived a very active lifestyle. I used to run every day. I loved to hang out with my friends. I loved to have fun. And I noticed that something was changing with my body. I was in Costa Rica in December, early January, surfing for the holidays. And I noticed that I was having to urinate all the time. This frequency of urination and urgency of urination issue hit me like a ton of bricks. If I wanted to surf, I would have to pee 3 or 4 times in the water. And that just seemed weird. Like, why is my body changing like this? When your body changes on you this much and you're having this kind of an issue, don't just chalk it up to something small. Like, you need to go get checked out. So I finally did a month later. I urinated in the cup and there was nothing. And so my doctor said, well, let me check your prostate. And so he checks me down there and he doesn't say anything. He's really quiet. And I was really starting to get uncomfortable. And then he stops and he says, well, I don't want to scare you or anything, but that's like the hardest prostate gland I've ever felt. And we need to get you in to see some specialist because that's not normal. And when I got the biopsy results back, not only did I get diagnosed, but I get diagnosed with one of the most aggressive prostate cancers that my doctors had ever seen. I was like, how did I get that lottery? You know, reverse lottery, I guess, right? So flash forward 6 weeks later or 10 weeks later, and now I have 3 lesions the size of quarters on my pelvic bone. So now I'm metastatic. So in just a blink of an eye, I go from having something that could be possibly curable to now having an incurable stage 4 metastatic diagnosis. If you're following the standard of care journey, which is kind of a one-size-fits-all, everybody gets the same treatment paradigm, then what you discover as an advanced cancer patient is that you exhaust that standard of care very quickly. Where I think you can get really engaged and empowered is when you start to take your own health into your own hands and you start to demand to be profiled and have diagnostic tests that are really unique for you as an individual. And my journey to get there was because I failed the standard of care journey. You know, I went through surgery, it didn't work. I went through chemotherapy and it worked for a while, but then my cancer started growing back. I had some of the second-line hormonal therapy stuff that was available for me, but I didn't want to just jump to that without having any data to back it up. And through all the research that I did, I knew that there was a company that had this AR-V7 test. And what that does, it helps you understand as a patient, are you going to be a good responder to second-line hormonal drugs or not? I didn't want to do the drug if I didn't think it's going to work. And I have a very aggressive prostate cancer. So for me, time is money. And I cannot waste time taking drugs that aren't going to work because that's an opportunity cost. I could have got onto something that I think would work better. So I need a diagnostic like that that can tell me with high predictability that I'm going to be a good fit for that. And once I got that test and I got the result back showing me that I was AR-V7 negative, that gave me the confidence to pursue a second-line hormonal drug, which I would not have had the confidence to do otherwise. I'm happy to say that I'm 4+ months now of having a declining PSA, and I feel great. Epic Sciences is just one of those amazing biotech companies who are helping patients understand what's driving their disease so they can take a better action on how to get in front of that disease. The AR-V7 test has been the one that has been most informative for me because it allowed me to decide to pursue second-line hormonal treatment. What that enabled me to do this last summer was take a sabbatical. And on that sabbatical, I went to Northwest Montana and I spent a bunch of time at the Oregon coast with my daughter, kayaking, stand-up paddleboarding, fishing, whitewater rafting, surfing. I taught her how to surf. I had a magical summer being healthy, not on the couch. And I was able to do that because not only did I have the confidence from the AR-V7 test to go on this drug, but it worked and it's kept me healthy and it's kept me active and allowed me to have an awesome summer, and I did that, and it was amazing. I'm a huge believer in giving advanced cancer patients their own diagnostic tests that can really help them understand what's driving their disease. You can demand, as a patient, diagnostic tests that will give you more confidence with higher predictability on which route you should go. And if you don't have that, you're flying blind. When I was really fatigued and sick going through chemo, I didn't have the same energy level. So I wasn't, I guess, able to enjoy the pastime that I was able to nowadays. The AR-V7 test told me that I would be a good fit for hormonal therapy. And hormonal therapy allows me to continue to do all the same things that I love, including surfing. So this summer, I was surfing every day. I was out in the water all the time, and I felt great. And I really think that's important, to do things that you love, even though you're on treatment. You want to regain and continue to do the same things that you love in life, even when you're going through cancer treatments. You want to get back to normal.